All right, good morning. So it is significantly colder than the last time that I got in here, so I gotta wear gloves. So I have to turn it on, and then I have to try and put this glove on. So forgive me a minute. I should really probably just edit these videos, whatever. Okay, cool. Are we good to go? Yes. So today we're talking about AI video, because that is a thing I've been working on for a while now, and not so much the quality of the models, because it seems to me that the quality of the models is kind of on a straightforward trajectory. It's getting more responsive in terms of your inputs and better quality of outputs, right? I think it will just sort of continue on that until it's pretty straightforward. You tell it what you want, and that's what you get. And still be these sort of short clips. I don't think that we're anywhere near like putting in a prompt and getting like a full movie out of that. So like a 90-minute feature or something. That being said, though, sort of the software that I'm working on is to basically leverage all of the different AI models and technologies that we have in terms of text, image, and video and sound to basically do just that. But it's not through a model. It's through sort of a software infrastructure, right? So this is basically what I've learned about the process of making like a feature film, or kind of like a Netflix style series or something like that, like a high quality sort of videos, is that it goes through a process, right? And so I've basically been working on converting this process into AI sort of generated steps and automation. So the first step is to basically come up with your idea, right? Now, you could, in theory, use the AI to come up with an idea, but so far, I think that it's probably best if you have some kind of an original idea to begin with. And then you'll notice that along the way, as you do these generations, you'll really want to input your own ideas and course correct the AI along the way still. You don't, at least the way that I'm seeing it, I don't think it's a good idea to just let the AI go all the way with it, because the quality will not be that good. And when I say the quality, I don't mean I don't mean necessarily the quality of writing or the quality of the image or the quality of the video from like an aesthetic point of view, but I mean more like, it will be a little bit derivative, right? It makes choices that are still kind of, not necessarily the most interesting, right? Some things are, but not. If you give it the whole thing, I don't think it would do as good a job as you could sort of guiding it along the way. So the idea is to sort of break everything down into steps, allow for revisions along the way for each step, and have like a guidance system, but that also manages all the content, because it's an ungodly amount of content that gets created when you are creating a movie, right? So let's say you're doing a 90-minute runtime. So just to get from your concept to a script, let's say you would write your concept, elaborate that into something called a treatment, then turn that into a Beatsheet, which is sort of like a document that precedes a script, and then you get to a script. So on average, it's my understanding that one page of a script is like 1 minute of a movie. So like a 90-page script could be like a 90-page movie, give or take. Again, I don't think this is exact sort of science at this point. It's kind of, it is literally art, right? So you go through those steps. So I've built a process that basically uses AI to automate sort of taking your initial concept and then generating the documents for each of those stages while taking in your revisions along the way. So let's say that you get through this process. Now, you also want to have some sort of consistency, right? So one of the things that I've split off from this in terms of like context awareness is the ability to develop characters, locations, props, vehicles, costumes, and things like that, independently of the actual like story arc script type of thing still. So that way we can have that sort of be consistent. And you'll see in the next step why that's important still. Because after you have the script finalized and you're happy with the characters and the locations and all of that, then you move on to the storyboard, right? So the storyboard is the part where you're actually starting to visually see what things look like for the first time. Now, what I've done is before you do the storyboard, actually we go through kind of like a virtual casting process where I have auditions for the main characters, or for all the characters actually, and generate a variety of their headshots and select from them kind of the same way that you would in like a real casting, right? And then generate their full body poses with some costumes and things like that, because those are kind of like these core assets that are quite sort of important to maintain that consistency still. So having that consistency is sort of like what brings it all together, because those images, and you'll see when we talk about sort of how to create the videos, those need to be added as context, right? So they're added as style reference into the video model. And yeah, that is basically sort of, if you've got the same faces coming in each time, right? You know, that's important, right? You don't want them to look differently still. Now, one of the challenges that I'm actually having at this point is not so much the faces and the costumes like of the characters, but their voices. So as I've been experimenting with VO3 3.1, and that has the audio generation built into the model still, but it is not consistent with their voices at this point. You know, it is still basically doing all kinds of you know, random English accents, for example, and stuff like that. So that is that's another thing that needs to be taken into account for. So from that point, like, so let's say you've got this this storyboard set up. So now what has to happen with that is that script has to get sort of modified first into a set of shots, right? And this could be theoretically like 1,000 different shots or so, right? You know, you've got if you're thinking about, like, each shot could be anywhere from like 1 second to 3 to 5 seconds, 8 seconds, even like 10 to 15 seconds is actually quite long if you think about it still. So yeah, you want to make sure that you've got the capacity to organize all of these things together, and each one of those shots would start with a prompt plus context, right? So if a character is involved in that shot, then the character image and their face has to be involved in it. If there's a specific location, then you need images of that location to be injected into the context, right? And then you kind of do the same thing that I've done with the auditioning and the casting and these other steps, is you have to generate multiple takes, right? And so you generate multiple takes, then you select the best one, and then basically at the end of that, you've got, you know, a couple thousand video clips or so that get basically migrated at this point into video editing software. Now, there are some video editing software that is out there that has some AI features and what have you, but that's a thing that does not seem to be it's not there yet in terms of like, hey, edit this whole movie for me still. And I don't think that it's even at the point. People are not really focused on that. Most of the video editing stuff using AI features that I have seen, like in terms of actually like gluing things together or cutting them up, is really more like marketing videos or doing like shorts generations and stuff like that. So I haven't seen anything that would like, you know, take several thousand clips and glue them together, especially not in like any sort of cohesive stylistic manner. So for that part, it seems the video editing is gonna have to be mostly a manual process for now, but basically getting everything else and taking your story idea, developing the characters and locations, and building your script and turning that into a storyboard, and then getting all of those shots done on AI with consistent characters. And you know, again, the voices are something that we're working on, but I'm sure that will actually get over the line pretty quick still. Then yeah, I mean, like, I think like with this automation software, you could come pretty close to, you know, creating a full movie kind of in a near automated process. Definitely a massive reduction in time and cost. Like instead of costing like $10 million to make a movie, it could cost like $100,000 or something, right? To pay for like the AI compute and like maybe like some of the assets, and then the time spent for a few guys to work on it, do the editing and the creative work and stuff like that. And then yeah, it's in Bob's your uncle, right? So yeah, I'm pretty excited on that. I've got 4 different film projects now that I'm working on besides doing the actual development of the software to work on this, and I'm sure I'll have more soon. And yeah, I'm going to share the link in the description to some sort of previews of what I'm working on there. And yeah, please feel free to check that out if you're interested. And yeah, that's all for now. I'll see you guys later. Oi, how do I turn this off?